KwaZulu-Natal government is continuing with the tabling of budget votes for relief to rebuild the province after the devastating floods. Last week, Premier Sihle Zikalala announced his office has been allocated over 750 million rand for the 2022-23 financial year. Much of this budget will prioritise the rebuilding efforts. Let's bring in reporter Lethiwe Mdluli, who will tell us the latest. Lethiwe, most of these departments have had to reprioritise their budgets. Tell us a bit more information in terms of which departments these are and what they said.
Well, Masego, yesterday we heard from the Departments of Health and also COGTA, who did share that they have had to reprioritize their budgets, especially because of the floods. Remember that last year, these departments who are essential also had to reprioritize their budgets because of COVID-19 and also the unrest that took place here in KwaZulu-Natal. Now, today we will be hearing from different departments who are also going to be tabling their budgets, including the Departments of Economic Development and Tourism, and also human settlements. Now, you'd remember that here in the province, the tourism sector have taken a hit over the last 2 years following COVID-19 and also the unrest that took place, and now the floods that recently happened. We saw a lot of places that are tourism destinations being affected by the floods, and they've had to close down. This is all happening within the time where the province is trying to rebuild. Today, we're also going to be hearing from the MEC from human settlements. Now, it's very important to hear what he has to say regarding his budget, because a lot of people were affected by the floods and they lost their homes. So it will be interesting to hear how much they're actually going to reprioritize from their budget to fit in those people that have lost their homes over the course of last month. But right now, I'm joined by the spokesperson for the MEC of Human Settlements, Mr. Sihle. I want to bring him in and just talk to him about what we can expect today. We know that you're going to be reprioritizing your budget. Mr. Sihle, take us through what we can expect.
Well, thank you very much. The MEC for Human Settlements and Public Works, Jomo Sihle, will be presenting the budget vote, as you correctly pointed out. The focus, obviously, is to ensure that, we usher in a new era of prosperity. As you correctly pointed out, quite a number of people have been affected by, devastating floods. And what the MEC has emphasized is that there should be speed, integrity, but of course without compromising quality. That is what we're going to be, seeing moving forward. He has appreciated an integrated approach that has been adopted involving all spheres of government. The National Minister of Human Settlements, Minister Kubai, was here. He also met with the Minister of Public Works and Infrastructure, Patricia Dele, meeting with the leadership of a municipality where, the focus was on, identifying land that, is going to be used to relocate communities that have been affected, especially those that are residing in riverbanks. That is the focus, and we can also confirm that more than R1 billion has been reprioritized to ensure that we take care of, the situation that we are facing. Speed, efficiency, and integrity is what the MEC is emphasizing.
Now, Mr. Sihle, you've just touched on reprioritizing those funds. Yesterday, we heard the health department and also COGTA talking about using the funds that they have to focus on the floods. A lot of projects have had to stop because of this, and we know that many departments in the province have had to use funds that were available to them, but they haven't found or gotten any funds from National Treasury. Have your department gotten those funds from National Treasury?
Well, I think what is important is what I've indicated, that there is that integrated approach involving all spheres of government. There's ongoing interaction with the national minister. The focus as we speak is to build the temporal residential units. We can confirm that the phase 1 of that project has started. More than 1,000 residential temporal units have been constructed as we speak. In KwaMaphumulo, in Ilembe, here in eThekwini and Uku district municipalities. What the MEC has said is that we need to prioritize people that are accommodated in halls, in churches, and those that are living in neighbors. That is what the MEC has indicated. Again, let us also emphasize the importance of driving rural housing development. The MEC has said, it is meaningless to talk about all these figures if we do not touch the lives of people, especially throughout the corners of the province. That is why there's a focus on rural housing development, there's a focus on social housing. We've seen how the National Minister, Minister Kubai, worked with the MEC, Jomosbia, to deal with the provision of houses in Chigajo informal settlement. We are going to be seeing more than 3,000 houses constructed for the benefit of people living in Chigajo informal settlements. And again, the MEC yesterday met with Abahlali Basemjondolo, the leadership of Abahlali Basemjondolo. The focus, again, the integrated approach involving all stakeholders to plan, to use one plan to roll out human settlements throughout the corners of KwaZulu-Natal. What the MEC has said is that we need to respond decisively to the legacies of apartheid. You know that sometime in 1913 there was the Land Native Act, which prohibited the indigenous people from owning properties. What the MEC has said is that let us use all these buildings that are here, in the CBDs, here in Pietermaritzburg and in Durban CBD, convert such buildings to accommodate people that have been displaced as a result of floods. And he has said, nobody must be left behind. Everybody must be assisted. People would want to raise their children where they can go to decent schools, where they can play, where they can access decent quality healthcare.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Well, Masego, that is the spokesperson for the MEC for Human Settlements here in the province. He just touched on the fact that they've reprioritized a budget of 1 billion rand, where they are going to be focusing on relocating those people that are situated near the river banks. Now, those communities were the ones who were mostly affected by the floods. Over 400 people died as a result, and many of them were living in informal settlements, and they were situated in those river banks. We will be hearing more from that budget once it's being tabled by the MEC. It's set to begin at 2:15, and we will get more information as to how these funds will be used and how these communities will be helped exactly.
All right, Lethiwe Mdluli, thank you. Let's leave it there for now.